Hello and welcome to Alaska's Political Pipeline. I'm political reporter Will Courtney. Today I have joined with me Senator Dan Sullivan calling from Washington, D.C. the day after his opponent announced her race. Senator Dan Sullivan, tell me a little bit about your reaction to your opponent announcing yesterday Mary Peltola.
Well, look, Will, we were expecting that for a long time. Senator Schumer, the Democrat leader, has been trying to recruit my opponent. But look, what I've been focused on is what I'm going to continue to focus on, and it's going to be a key component of this race. It's a record. Races are about records, and races are about vision. And right now, what I'm really excited about and have never been more optimistic about is the Alaska comeback. The Alaska comeback is happening. This was after 4 years of the Biden shutdown of our economy, including the Schumer shutdown of our economy. And now we're on the cusp of some huge, dramatic, exciting issues for our state. A huge resource development boom that's happening on the North Slope because of Republican policies on ANWR and NPRA. We've made more progress on the gas line. I think actually this year could be the year that we actually get to a final investment decision on the gas line, Will. These things are so exciting. I've been working on that issue for the longest time, from my perch on the Armed Services Committee. My background as a retired Marine colonel. We are finally building up the infrastructure and the military that we need to address the real challenges that we have in the Arctic with Russia and China. We are home porting icebreakers in our great state. I think it's going to be more than just the one we're home porting in Juneau right now. And we're transforming healthcare. We got healthcare challenges, but we just had an announcement by the federal government, $1.4 billion for Alaska to design its own healthcare system. So look, I have never been more optimistic. This is why I'm running to continue this Alaska comeback that's happening right now, things that we've been talking about for decades. And we're finally getting done working together as Alaskans. And I'll tell you this, if the Democrats get in control in the Senate next year, all of it comes to a screeching halt.
Well, tell me a little bit. You said your record. That's something you even mentioned at the Valley Unity rally when you told me this is what I'm expecting and what I want to talk about is my record. This is exactly what we're leaning into as part of your campaign. What Peltola is leaning into is affordability. That's something we've seen from Democrats across the nation, too. Can you tell me a little bit about your thoughts on affordability? This is obviously going to be a big topic for the 2026 election.
Absolutely. Look, in terms of a record, like I said, I'm consistently ranked as one of the top senators in the United States Senate on getting bills passed, on getting things done. As a matter of fact, last year, I was ranked number one, tied with Senator Kennedy from Louisiana on getting bills that I've had passed in the Congress. I will put that record up against my opponents any single day. But on affordability, let me give you something else that we've been working on. We are having dramatic, because of the budget reconciliation bill, tax cuts for working families, tax cuts for seniors. Seniors are going to have more money in their pockets because of the bill that we passed last summer. So are working Americans. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. But here's the biggest thing on affordability, Will, for Alaska: energy. Like I said, if we can get this Alaska gas line project up and running this year, not up and running, but a final investment decision to start building it. I've been working on this issue way before I was a U.S. Senator. But again, in the budget reconciliation bill with Republicans, we have put provisions in the law that allow for the federal government to help finance that project. Imagine if Alaskans have low-cost energy for the next 50 to 100 years, our future is going to be so bright. And again, this is where Senate Democrats have a very different vision. They're not for any of these provisions. They're certainly not for the big LNG project. And finally, as I mentioned, we have this great opportunity right now, $1.4 billion from the federal government to Alaska, just announced last month. You were at the press conference saying, all right, Alaska, here's your chance to transform your healthcare system. So look, affordability is an important issue, but we are undertaking policies that directly address it in an Alaskan way on energy, on taxes, on healthcare. And again, that's why I'm excited and very optimistic about where we're going right now.
Your colleague in the Senate, Senator Lisa Murkowski, has also backed your campaign. She's told multiple media outlets that, including us. Tell me what that endorsement means to you.
Well, look, Senator Murkowski and I are a good team, right? We don't agree on everything. She has different views than I do on certain things. But what we're able to do is that we are able to work together to benefit Alaska. And my team and I, we work together very closely with Senator Murkowski and her team, because it's all about delivering for Alaska. And I think it's interesting because, she did endorse my opponent in her last election, which she didn't win. And now when she had a choice, she's endorsing me. And I think that says a lot.
We're still in the early days of this campaign. Mary Peltola has not explicitly said your name on any publication or statements or social media that I've seen yet, but she does have a statement here that I want to ask your reaction to. She says, quote, "Our delegation used to stand up to their party and put Alaska first, but lately that sense of independence has faded with more attention paid to partisan pressures and out-of-state interests than to Alaska's needs." I'm curious how you respond to that criticism.
Well, look, like I said, elections are about a record, and I will put my record up against anyone, including my opponents, which in terms of legislation, I think it was not anything. But more importantly, a vision. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take the state? Where do you want to take the country? And Will, as I laid out, I think right now there are so many exciting things that are happening in our state. The resource boom, the gas line, building our military that I care deeply about, taking care of our veterans and our seniors, working on transforming our healthcare, icebreakers, home port in our state. We've been working on these things for decades. And I think the big issue in terms of vision is I want to take our state there, continuing to lead on these issues. My colleagues in the Senate on the Republican side, including Senator Murkowski, want to take our state there. If Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, get into power, they will stop each one of these things. That's not conjecture. That's a fact. I've seen them operate for 10 years. And so I think one of the things my opponent will have to answer very quickly is, why would you empower Senate Democrats led by Schumer, who have a strong history of anti-Alaska policies whenever they take power? It's a really important question.
Yeah. Senator Dan Sullivan, thank you for your time, sir. Anything else we should know about your campaign?
Well, I just want to make one other comment. I have gotten a lot of questions. I'm home every weekend. I'll be coming home in a couple days from a lot of Alaskans who have said, "Hey, Dan, what's up with this? Now it's about $3.5 million of negative attack ads, false negative attack ads on TV for the last several months." I just want Alaskans to know these are from far left extreme groups who want to shut down our state. And I think people should know that. Again, our vision is a positive one, an exciting one, jobs for our kids, our grandkids. We're on the cuffs right now, but I get asked that a lot. So I wanted to make sure people know that that is being funded by some of the most anti-Alaska groups in the country. And I want people to be aware of that.
Senator Sullivan, thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you for listening to Alaska's Political Pipeline. If you like what you listen to, consider rating our podcast and leaving a review. We'll be back in your feeds next Monday, but until then, please take care.